I put up a story the other day about, I think, the challenges that I face and we all face in addressing our thoughts. So I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit and maybe give you some more information. So if you think of your brain is like a factory, and let's say we make cars in this scenario. So you produce the car on the conveyor belt. There's always like a quality control element, because you can't just allow the car to go out into the world without it being tested and reviewed and checked for safety measures, all of these things. And it's really similar with our thoughts. Objectively, let's call this a good thought. A good thought comes along, something that's beneficial to you and to the world or to your dreams or pursuits. You will do your safety check. You'll be like, okay, this thought has arrived. Looks okay to me. You kick the tires, check the brakes, all these things. And once you validate the thought, then you can put it into action. So that is where we recognize the thought comes. We choose whether to validate the thought or whether to kind of scrap it and go, it doesn't really pass the checks, let's throw this aside. The same happens with negative thoughts or with challenging thoughts or even intrusive thoughts. They will come. They're always going to come. We have brains. We have this really intense experience of consciousness and awareness that we're still trying to comprehend and fathom as we go through life. So for this example, a bad thought comes along. So maybe the car, like the engine's not that powerful, the brake pads are a little bit worn down, a few screws loose, like nothing is really kind of safe and together. The thought comes, and what happens is like we feel really guilty over these thoughts because we think, oh, a bad thought has arisen in my awareness, therefore I am a bad person. That's actually not the case though, because the bad thought arises, yeah, you just have a brain it's almost like a satellite. You're tuning in channels, tuning in ideas. Taking action with the thought is where the bad outcome arises, because thoughts put into action have consequences. Thoughts that remain thoughts are just things bashing around in your head. You can choose whether to go, yeah, delete that, or act upon it. Please give yourself the permission to separate yourself from the thoughts. The only thing you're responsible for is doing those safety checks, going through it and thinking, is this something I actually want to do, or is this something that's come up for me that I actually disagree with completely on a fundamental level? You are not your thoughts. You are the actions that arise from validating or invalidating your thoughts. And there's a very big difference in those two things. I hope that helps. I hope you realize that even the most successful, competent, amazing people in the world that seem like they have it all figured out have bad days. Every single person that you admire, whether it's a famous musician, an actor, an intellect, like any single person you can think of has struggles and has bad days. That is what unites us as people. And I think the more we can understand that in ourselves and the more we can recognize that other people suffer too, the easier this becomes, because we're all in this together at the end of the day. Take care.